Okay, welcome back to my Let's Play of Disco Elysium on the PC. Last time, day 4, we entered into this creepy church where we encountered a creepy crab man who worships the Mother of Silence, I think her name was. But he's okay turning this place into a nightclub. So, you know, this place isn't that sacred to him, I guess. It's all a little confusing, of course. Okay, and we have this thought that we could internalize that forces us to face our alcoholism. Maybe we can quit it. I'd kind of like to internalize that. We've gone this far without drinking. New shoes, +1 empathy. What do we got? +1 perception. That's sort of weird. Why does it give a view from above? Oh, because they make you stand slightly taller? Okay, if I remove those, though, I end up with -1 perception. That shit gives +2 logic. I mean, that's good shit. I mean, our perception isn't doing anything up for us anyway, so might as well boost the stuff that we are good at. Cold wind blows in from the broken gallery, makes your skin crawl. Two decks of reel-to-reel tapes spinning on empty. Portable Harman wow sheet tape recorder. Is it possible it's recording something? Someone siphoning electrical current from outside into this antenna. A machine stands in the corner, watched over by the figures on the stained glass window. It's turned on and quivering with soft electricity. Another radio computer, says the lieutenant, stepping closer. And this time it's already turned on. He seems cautious around the machine. These machines sometimes harbor traps, he thinks. Alarm systems and the like. Let's be careful. We should leave. I doubt this place bears any connection to the case. Yes, but this machine looks just like the one in doomed commercial area. It's also quite similar to the one we have down at the station. Must be the same model. He inspects the machine's framework, careful not to touch anything. A quaint little box of radio waves. Wait, let me just investigate it. You see fluorescent play and print buttons on the keyboard. The hatch connected to the central compartment is wide open. The lieutenant says nothing. You see the machine's glowing frame reflected back from his diamond-shaped glasses. You're free to proceed. Look inside the compartment. Behind the hatch sits a cube-like crisscross of filaments, smoldering in the dark like fireflies. Silver tape on the side says in a black marker, Log, February-March. Let's pray. Press pray. The speaker comes to life. Static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic driver. An old lady greets you. Her voice sounds 100 years old. Good morning, Fortress accident on St. Brune. This is the East Insulindian Repeater Station 1. Please repeat, is this the personal log? Yvonne, it's me again. How are you? Good, thank you. It's not clear whether she recognizes your voice. Please repeat, is this the personal log? I looked inside the core, but the tape on the filament just said log February-March. Good, please repeat the password. Let's look around. Let's look around. There's no use trying to guess the answer. Maybe he knows something. Lieutenant nods towards Tiago. I don't know the password. Received. I will register this login attempt. Fortress accident, like the one in the doomed commercial area. I have 2 machines registered to this company name in Martinez. One on St. Brune, the other on Rue de Saint-Ghislain. St. Brune, that's the church. Lieutenant gestures around him. And Rue de Saint-Ghislain, that's the doomed commercial area. Anything else I can help you with? Finish with this call. Goodbye, Fortress accident, she says as her voice disappears into a world of static. Press print. Nothing happens. Done. Let's talk to the crab man again.
Oh, hey, wait. There's coffee in the back. Oh, wait. I'm in the mother's love.
Have you by any chance heard the Vegeta say the password to her radio computer? Too many times, I say. You need it for something? Surveys are a good way to fish for public information, especially in the name of public safety. Okay, I'm doing a survey of passwords and passcodes, identifying regional trends. In the interest of public safety, of course. Don't sweat it, Vato. The password is afterlife death. What'd you think of that? Makes me almost pity La Nihilista Pequeña when I hear it. Okay, then. That was an interesting conversation. Or I'm still not sure whether we'll find our suspect here. Oh, so now he's just gone. He's gone forever. Frost has drawn flowers on the glass, obscuring the view. Ooh, silk scarf plus 1 pain threshold. No, we'll stick with what we have. We worked for this necklace. Press play. I have the password. Afterlife death. Good, I've unlocked the filament. After ending the call, please press print to access the filament. Okay. Press print. The printer prints out a long text document with dated paragraphs. It looks a bit like someone's journal. Read the printout. The first entry made on the 4th February 52 by an unknown author is short and concise. Arrived at the church. The door is boarded up, so I used a crowbar to get inside. Looks like the place has been deserted. Nothing out of the ordinary, but I'll ask around. Need to figure out how to get the electricity in. Lieutenant leans closer, scouring the printout over your shoulder. Just as you finish reading, he looks up, muttering under his breath. 4th of February? That's over a month ago. Whoever set up these machines has been here for quite a while. You think this log might be connected to the case? Our case? No, I don't think so. It must be some local... His eyes wandered to the various machines around him. Eccentric. Read the second entry. 6th February, 52. Had a little chat with the local fisherman. Said I shouldn't go near that place. That the church was spooky and ridden with narcotics. It's a little spooky, all right. Still haven't figured out the electricity. Read the third entry. 7th of February, 52. Finally got the electricity in. Next on the agenda, a new antenna. I'm thinking Esker series, something advanced. Why would she need an antenna? Why would anyone need any of this equipment here? He steps on a wire running on the ground, inspecting it with his boot. Fourth entry. 8th of February, 52. Bought the antenna, had some problems setting it up. Called Simo for help. Heard the others are back to making art. Drinking somewhere out of town. Sulislaw started a rock band again. Lexi has been seen asking money from strangers. But at least the artists have their act together. They're qualified labor. They can get work anywhere. Graphic design, ads. The programmers are doing fine too. I mean, they're programmers. The writers, though, they're fucked. I just have to find out what caused that data loss and be done with it. Still don't understand how it managed to wipe out the backup when the backup wasn't even connected to the front. I know. Everyone thinks it's impossible. They say I must be lying. I'm here to set it right. A data loss? Seems like something to do with radio computers. Unfortunately, I don't know enough about them to understand what the author is saying. Something about the backup data getting destroyed, and how everyone thought it was the author's fault. He adjusts his glasses. Let's just keep reading. Artists, programmers, Lexi, who are all these people? I think these people worked in the radio computer games business, the ones we saw in the doomed commercial area. They must be her former co-workers. Fifth entry. 12th February, 52. Brought some food from the grocery store. Apparently there's a strike going on in the harbor. Definitely not happy to see the Martinez people again. Everything's now set up in the church. Going to start working tomorrow, 8 a.m. Strike, he strokes his chin. We're nearing the date of the murder. Keep reading, I'm interested now. I want to know what's that radio anomaly that sent this person here in the first place. Sixth entry. 25th February, 52. I've been sending data up to Lintel for a while now, trying to recreate the data loss, but nothing. Didn't even feel like logging in the disappointment. But I did discover a curious audio-spatial anomaly at the back of the church. I've named it the Swallow. It swallows sound. Need to get some mics. She talking about... The lieutenant looks to his right, toward the silence. 7th entry. 28th February, 52. Yes, the first recordings confirm that the swallow is real, and I'm not just losing my mind. It's a pillar of silence with a diameter of approximately 3 meters. Seems like the higher I go, the less I record. This might be a coincidence. Or it could be connected to the data loss that led me here. Pillar of silence. She is talking about the silence. Is she suggesting it's more than just an architectural quirk? Well, what could it be? Lieutenant doesn't answer. He follows your gaze, studying the basins. The water shines in them. No ripples. 8th entry. March 52. Some kind of young disco men have appeared next to the church. I've been trying to record the silence to find the epicenter, but now it turns out I've also been capturing the future of dance music. One neo-disco song over and over again. Fortunately, the song is so monotonous I was able to devise an algorithm to factor it out. The other day, one of the disco men came in. Before I could even say hello, she got scared and left. Good. I don't want anyone distracting me from my work. She must be describing a cell. Girl on the ice? Sounds like her, yes. 9th entry. March 52. I got a call from the repeater station. Someone has tried to access the radio computer in our old office in Martinez. Can't do anything about it. The storekeeper still doesn't want to let me inside the building. Thinks I'm part of some kind of curse. How Martinez of her. That's me. I was the one who broke into that radio computer. And the storekeeper must be Plaisance. I know it wasn't a good idea to meddle with that machine. 10th entry. March 52. A new 2mm aux cable, noodles, crackers, ping energy drinks, water, toothpaste, gum, also some canned air. The strange woman makes straight for the radio computer. And we really, we tried to hide. Oh, she didn't even look at us.
Breaking into my radio computer, I see.
She glares at you as she holds down the off button for several seconds. The machine reboots.
I do apologize for the intrusion, madame. We are with the RCM, you see.
We're looking for a suspect in a murder investigation. We thought they might be hiding here.
No one's hiding here.
She barely looks up from the keyboard. You hear the machine whir back to life.
It's just me and my computer, and it has been this way for weeks. Now, please give me some room. I need 2 seconds to see that you haven't destroyed anything.
We should talk to her after she has rebooted the machine.
Okay, is that now?
What is it?
The woman is still hunched over the keyboard, gently illuminated by the purring machine. I didn't break anything, did I?
No, you just printed out my personal lock and wasted some paper.
It does not look like a big loss to her. Are you the lead programmer of Wirral Untethered by any chance?
Yes. Or no, not anymore. That project is dead.
Jen seems surprised to be recognized, rather sad. Something passes over her face before she straightens her back. Sorry, but who are you? What are you doing here?
I am Sona Lukanen Kilde, the former lead programmer of Fortress Accident and RSA radios. I have over 16 years of programming experience, and I'm proficient in both Vox and Orbis languages. If you're not here to hire me, I don't really know how can I help you.
She turns back to the terminal. Did she say over 16 years of experience? She must have started programming when she was still a teenager. Have you seen the Crab Man? No, but you know he's around. Yes, he's seen you. And the Crab Man has seen you. I don't care. I don't care about Crab Men. She barely looks up, now tinkering with the machine's printer. Have you seen anyone suspicious? Say, a woman named Ruby? What? No, no one suspicious around here. She has not seen her, sire. 'Tis true. Why are there so many machines in this place? I brought them here. These are my machines. Please don't touch anything. Why do you need an antenna? I use the AR-1 as my REM prefect's processing unit. Wait, what? REM prefect, my radio computer, she explains. And that antenna is its processing unit. Yes, she sighs. You really don't know anything about radio computers, do you? She has stopped working now. I know a little. Alright, well, all radio computers perform operations up on air, so in order to gain more processing power, you need to invest in a good antenna. What's on air? On the front. The unified front of radio waves. The licensed and controlled by Lintel in the East Insulindic region. It's all around us, she waves her hand. That's what on air means. Like love. And the AR-1, is it a good antenna? She stops to think. I guess it is. So far, I've been quite satisfied with it. Martinez is an unstable region with bad coverage, and the operation has been surprisingly stable. But it's not the cheapest one on the market, so I wouldn't recommend it for your regular red tape operations. Fraser 1000 is a foolproof line for civilians. Anyway, she turns back to her terminal. You should do some research before you decide to buy anything. Ask around, compare the prices. There are many milieus dedicated to that sort of thing. She liked telling you this. It calmed her nerves. What are you doing with your radio computer? I'm working. Working on what? Could you... She closed her eyes. Could you just shh for a moment? Or get to the point? I really need to focus on something. It's not just rudeness. It really is hard to concentrate on whatever she needs to do. And you're not helping. What about those bowls of water over there? They're connected to my REM prefect. She looks up. Whatever you do, just please don't move them, okay? Thanks. Short and terse. There you have it. Whatever she's using them for, they're hers. I'll try not to touch anything. Next question. Great. She dwells back into the glowing terminal. What are you doing in an abandoned church? You really like those questions, don't you? There's a hint of amusement in her tired eyes. I'm a police officer. It's my job to ask questions. I'm conducting a scientific research here. You can't throw me out, she says, ready to stand her ground. What research? I'm looking for the location of a 2mm hole in the world. What? She's looking for a disruption in the radio waves. That's what her personal log said. Lieutenant raises his brows, but doesn't say anything. Is the hole connected to the data loss in your journal? Yes, that's what led me here. She stares at the burnished antenna on a nearby table. But I suspect it might be something a bit more complicated than that. A hole in the world, what does that mean exactly? Exactly what does it mean? There's something frantic about her as she locks her gaze with you, eyes shining like pearls. Up to now, it's been impossible to say what it is, because it's impossible to measure nothing. What do you think it is? What qualities does nothing have? How do you measure something that does not exist? Pattern screamers! She's suddenly absorbed in the conversation, waiting for your answer. Easy, you measure it by the world around it. You measure it by collecting data on its surroundings, on that which exists. Exactly, she nods. Very true. That's what I've been aiming for. That's why I have those basins. I've tried using hydrotransducers to record the silence, to find out where it begins. Ha, hydrotransducers. So that's what those water basins are. Devices for recording sound through water. But honestly, it's not progressing very well. She grows silent, staring at her circle of basins. It looks like some ancient ritual. You have any idea where this hole might be located? Somewhere underneath those roof beams, I assume. She looks up, eyes trying to pierce the pitch-black heights above, but without much success. Strange things may flourish in the dark. Why there? There's this place at the back of the church, a place where all audible vibrations seem to cease. I've named it the Swallow, and the higher you go, the less you record. Pillar of Silence. Are you sure it's not just an architectural quirk? Maybe, but it's oddly close to the physical coordinates of the data loss that led me to this place. This is where the Crabman lives. I know. You don't think Crabman might be somehow responsible here? No, I don't. She sounds mildly annoyed by this line of questioning, her hands typing hundreds of commands into the machine. You said that the research isn't going well. Why not? Because it's just trial and error, trying to locate the Swallow, the exact point in space. And I don't have a... She stops mid-sentence. You know what? It would be really helpful if you could just stop talking and let me work. That's all I wanted to know about the scary 2mm hole in the world, for now. Great. Her hands are a whirl on the keyboard. Thanks. Why does it... How do you feel about anodic dance music? What? She squints her eyes. I hate it. Bet she hasn't even heard it. Have you even listened to it? Like, actually listen? Yeah, like all the time. My tent neighbors don't really ease up with their partying, do they? She pulls a face that looks absolutely scathing. Maybe I'd have to be on drugs to get it, but to a sober mind, it just sounds like uninspired rug whipping. No idea what it has to do with either dancing or music. Right. But how do you feel about a club for anodic dance music? This is about those speed freaks in the tent, isn't it? She looks up, shaking her head. I've got some news for you. It's not a nightclub they want to build here. What do they want to build then? Take a guess, why don't you? A youth center would be nice. The lead programmer sighs. I can't believe they got you so easily. Go have another talk with those up-and-coming entrepreneurs, will you? Thanks. Good luck. Lieutenant notes. I'm not coming in there. Okay. How odd. In white, silver, and apricot faience. What? Whoa, whoa, whoa! Google time. What the fuck is this word?
Faience.
Faience. What? But it's... tin glazed pottery on a buff earthenware body. What? Like, honestly, how would I ever be expected to know this word? What the fuck? Faience. Crazy. In white, silver, and apricot faience, the young mother of humanism stands above you. A crack runs across her body. She's impossibly tall, oval-faced and sad, a dark and radiant majesty. This is her innocence, Dolores Day. Cradled in her arms are a pair of glowing lungs, clearly visible from underneath her flowing dress. You should kneel. Kneel. Your knees touch the floor. The floorboards are hard and cold. There you kneel among the snowdrifts, diffused light falling on your hands from above the glass. Close your eyes first. The world is silent but for the creaks and cracks of the massive wooden structure behind you. It covers you from the wind outside. In the darkness, you sense her eyes on you, inspecting you with their multicolored glass, as if you're a bug under a microscope. Open your eyes. The woman looks down at you, kneeling. She towers among her followers, architects, laymen, courtiers. There is a sad smile on her lips and a glint in her green-blue eyes. Of what? Compassion? Remorse? She acknowledges the passing of someone who is still alive. You. It's compassion. As that soft word passes through your mind, the lieutenant draws an X-shaped cross from shoulder to shoulder. Do the same as you get up. Your fingertips touch your chest 4 times, then you rise from your knees into the apricot-colored light of the window. Above you, the woman still smiles her distant smile, sundered by the crack in the glass. This is Dolores Day. Yes, he looks around. I wasn't sure before, but this must be the DeLorean Church of Humanity in Martinez. It's called the Small Pinewood Church in some records. You knew of the place? It's a minor landmark, not easy to find. Most maps misplace it. He lowers his voice. It was built not long after Revachal's founding, 300 or so years ago by first-generation settlers. On the coast of an uninhabited archipelago where only animals had roamed before, in the wild reeds. What else do you know? There used to be 7 stave churches on the coast. The Sept Sœurs, they call them. The 7 Sisters. Only one remains. The rest were burnt in the Revolution or used for building materials. We should be respectful here, although the building appears to be deserted. I do not believe we'll find the instigator here. Something else, perhaps. He looks at the machinery lying around. Respectful? Is the lieutenant a follower of DeLoreanism? Pang of guilt. Lieutenant is leaving something out. Do you know why it was abandoned? I have a theory, yes. There's a pause, then he continues. There was a police raid a while back. I heard the place was shot to pieces. Who conducted this raid? Well, your station was involved, I hear, although I can't be sure. How come a lieutenant isn't sure? Is this confidential information? You're not sure. 3 precincts were involved in the raid, and people say Precinct 41 was one of them. I don't remember being here. I'm pretty sure it was a clandestine operation. I don't know anything more about it. Why it was conducted or who participated. I try not to pry into extra-district matters. If I was here, I should find out what I was doing. Good luck. You'll not get information on a confidential operation from your station secretary just by calling. If you really don't remember, it might be better to keep this one forgotten. It happened a while ago. It's unimportant to our business in Martinez now. Kim, are you a follower of DeLoreanism? Yes, we all are. Her name, body, and rule are synonymous with humanism. The laws we enforce are DeLorean in origin. Stroke your chin first. The woman looks by in silence, smiling enigmatically. I didn't think you were spiritual. It's not spiritual, it's constitutional. The DeLorean system does not demand faith, only accordance. How did I know this is the mother of humanism? Despite the damage you've done to yourself, the title appears lodged in your hippocampus. This is her innocence, Dolores Day, the innocence of humanism, internationalism, and the welfare state. Perhaps the most famous human being ever to have lived. No amount of Commodore Red can wipe her sad smile from your brain thing. It has survived the deluge and haunts you still, and will haunt you forever as it haunts all men. What exactly is an innocence? I've read a book, but it was fuzzy. The highest category of historic individual, an embodiment of the world spirit. A ruler? More, an innocence is elected to office by the founding party, a precedent that has taken place a mere 6 times in the entirety of history. The legal system of the Rio Belt is built to accommodate inocentric rule, should it coincide with our time. An innocence is infallible. The decisions made by one are not decisions, they are inevitabilities. What would have happened anyway, only accelerated, packed into decades instead of centuries. An innocence is a continuous, compressed event, a sacred human being. It is an honor and a glory to live when one is in office. Is one in office now? No, we are alone. Okay, when did she rule? 300 years ago, in the wake of the discovery of this Isola, the Insulindian, by explorers from the continent of Mundi. She is, among other things, the innocence of intersolary travel and the connected world. What else do I know about her? Many things. You know, she was a woman of the court, the wife of an influential marchese, and eventually the principal advisor to Irene la Navigateur, Queen of Suresnes, modern-day Sir Leclerc. Also, that she was gorgeous beyond beauty, draped in ancient sadness. Are you sure you want to remember this bit of historic trivia? Standing under her long, slender form like this, dwarfed. Where is this coming from? The past. It's a silo of sadness, fermenting. You should keep away. No, you must know. Okay, what else? Was she smart? Terribly. Women of the court were expected to play both contract, bridge, and chess sufficiently well to prove an interesting challenge to a man. A similar grasp in matters of philosophy, theology, and science was encouraged. She was, by all means, a kept woman. She made the most of her position in the antediluvian court, the court visited by the most prominent thinkers and artists of the day. In secret, she was becoming the era's preeminent philosopher of the state. A scalpel, a piercing gaze. She was an almost preternaturally magnetic and intelligent individual. To her contemporaries, she appeared out of time, a messenger from the future of the species. We all fell in love with her, head over heels. Even before she was declared an innocence, her influence was tremendous. How come? It was on her advice that Irene la Navigateur sponsored a number of voyages into the Pale, a costly, often tragic endeavor, ultimately vindicated by the discovery of the new world, the piece of reality you're standing on. She was crowned 2 years after the first expedition returned, setting in motion what is widely considered the greatest era in history, the DeLorean era. Wow. Wow, indeed. When her innocence was declared, and the queen she had advised for years fell on her knees before her, she was so overcome with emotion that her lungs started glowing in her chest. Bystanders reported golden filaments lighting the already sunlit chamber around her, clearly visible beneath her dress. That is why the lungs are the symbol of love for the cultures of the Rio Belt. I want more. As did we all. The lands of Mangg and the Occident, and even faraway Supermundi, altogether to 21 of the 40 mondial nations of the time, immediately accepted inocentric rule, even before her crowning. Her crowning? In a city called Advespericet in Vesper Messina, her homeland. The name of the city means evening comes, but it happened on a winter's morning, with the canals frozen and the slush falling out of the sky. She was dressed in a white and pearl dress on an emptied-out plaza, with the crowd far away. Already her Theriers, the secret servicemen of the Innocents, were worried about an assassination attempt. She must have been beautiful. Oh yes, she looked like humanity's young mother, a perfect mother, insultingly beautiful. It was as if her face and shoulders and hands were covered in a soft down of underfeathers. You know this well. Very well. Midwinter snow was beating the cobblestones around her. A small attache of officials stood by as her farriers placed a white gold wreath on her head. The crowning was mostly witnessed by Secret Servicemen. Then what? One of the men in the Secret Service killed her. 22 years later, a young man who had come to suspect that Dolores Day was not entirely human, but something else. What? Something that had walked in our midst, watching us stumble for hundreds, if not thousands of years, until it decided to interfere in the course of our history. We were supposed to come up with this ourselves, the man was reported to have screamed at the innocents. Dolores Day was shot in the chest with a fowling piece, 8 times. The man, thought to be insane, said he once touched her and her body had been unnaturally warm, like a furnace, and that sometimes while on duty he observed her forgetting to breathe for over 10 minutes. This inhuman quality was witnessed by many others as well, glowing lungs and all. It is commonly attributed to mass hysteria and religious psychology. Was there something terrifying about her? Terrifying is a term too emotionally charged for your semantic memory, or what remains of it, but terrifying. It's a simple word. She was bad for humanity, and you shouldn't have started thinking about her. No. Was there something bad about her? I want to know. You already do. Although she is often considered to be the greatest human being to ever live, there was something ominous about Dolores Day, constantly surrounded by her farriers. She was the most socially secluded and least self-aware of all the innocences. Some modern thinkers would consider her a war criminal for the campaign she waged against the Mangg state. And then there were the resettlement programs. What happened? The Mangg state tried to detach itself from Innocentic rule. Parts of the world were experiencing whiplash from accelerating into secularism. Her mandatory education programs and mass resettlement of upstream Magritte were problematic as well. Dissenters were suppressed by a military force she called the Army of Humanity, suggesting those who fight against it are not a part of humanity. She adored chess, yes, but also military war games. Dolores Day often holds a tiny tin soldier between her index finger and thumb, an icon such as this. She was also blonde, the blondest woman you have ever seen, with green eyes the color of the Passantic Mare Interregnum. Little is known of her Marchese husband. It's as if he vanished from history after completing his role, which was to introduce Dolores Day to court. In conclusion, yes, there is something lonely, paranoid, and even terrifying that people seldom mention, but feel when they think of her. This subtle terror is part of her iconography. Officer, you've stood there for over 5 minutes. Lieutenant's calm voice echoes in the cold air of the church. What are you thinking of, if I may ask? She's somehow connected to the case. She's been dead for 300 years. I'm almost 1,000% certain she isn't connected to the case. He takes his glasses off to clean them. None of this is, in fact. This church, the coast, this isn't a good place to get lost in. Reconstruct the cracked glass. Nice. A jigsaw of broken shards falls into place in front of you. A ghostly reconstruction of the stained glass window. Before it was shattered, there was an older woman beneath the younger one, and a text, Elite Mauve, below them both. Who shattered this mosaic? Elite motive. Unknown. Something during the raid the lieutenant mentioned, or just hooligans looking for something to break. Who is this older woman? The escutcheon on her throne says, Irene the Navigator. She is depicted as an older woman wearing thick-rimmed eyeglasses, holding a golden Reichsapfel in one hand and a scepter in the other. This is the Queen, her Innocence Day advised. Above, she herself is whole. Small figures of wise men, common men, worshippers walk up to the stairs to stand at her feet. Secret Servicemen, farriers, stand in a row guarding her. It must have taken years to produce this work in all its dizzying detail. The motto, what does it say? Below both women, in luminous black letter, Après la vie, mort. Après la mort, la vie de nouveau. After life, death. After death, a new life. And then along the left side, Après le monde, le gris. Après le gris, le monde de nouveau. After the world, the gray? Or am I thinking of something else? can't remember gray. I don't know why I gravitated to gray. After the gray, the new world? After life, death. After death, life again. After the world, the pale. After the pale, the world again. This is the great leitmotif of humanism, a summary of the effect of the discovery of this Isola, the Insulindian, on human thinking. A tremendous sea change akin to finding life after death. Could these words be the password that unlocks the filament memory? Lieutenant, this used to say, after life, death. After death, life again. He nods. After the world, the pale. After the pale, the world again. This exaltation is common in DeLorean sacralism. In the early years, it was even incorporated as the RCM slogan. No more, however. Why? It was deemed subservient to use a strongly moral intern-related motto. We're already suspected of bootlicking. The sentence was also seen as too feminine. It was a macho thing. What is the RCM motto now? Justice, union, prudence, and force. Not very feminine. Not at all. Hey, Her Innocence Dolores Day liked little figurines, right? Liked holding little men between her fingers, remember? What? You have the Headless Fallen Rider figurine. You should give it to her. Win her back. What? Win her? Who? I can't win her back. She's a long-dead historical figure. Don't be so pessimistic. Love doesn't die that easily. This isn't funny. You have a bad feeling about this one. I should, yes. This is a task of mine now. So very, very, very nifty. Nifty and mysterious. This is surely what the figurines are for. Okay. Looks like I can't give this figurine to her. Why? Because she's a stained glass window. That doesn't seem to be a problem. Maybe he meant something... does seem to be a problem. Maybe he meant something else. Like, what? Is the task still on? I don't know. What are we thinking of? Part of your mind has gone on to other things already. Only a strange little sadness remains. Mother of you... Okay. Well, that was... quick. What an odd task to give yourself. But here we are. What if she's still alive? We're gonna unlock a new mind slot. We're gonna think about this wasteland of reality. 20 hours. Okay. We spent nearly 40 minutes doing like 2 things inside one location. I mean, to be honest, everything would go a lot faster, of course, if I was just reading it to myself rather than reading it out loud. The fact that it's a Let's Play is definitely slowing it down. But that's okie dokie. Okay. Let's see. We still, yeah, we're still looking for Ruby. We're looking for this woman, so I think we want to check out all the buildings, see which ones we can get into, things like that. Bars cover these long, dusty windows. There's a lot of buildings down south. Door, a building, a hiding place. Could the instigator be inside? No, because I can't enter it. That's why. Hard to see the details. The colors, all warm and welcoming, are cozy though. A flower trough where nothing really grows. Maybe in spring. Industrial coal pellets burn with an orange glow. Is that the phasmid? It looks like the phasmid leaning against the wall. Try to sneak up on the phasmid. Not the phasmid. It's not even organic. It's a fire iron. How disappointing. I can't believe it. Right? You'll have better luck next time, though. The phasmid. Finding it is your destiny. You have the dream of discovering the Insulinian phasmid arrest for now. That was pretty random. Okay, I'll take your taxidermy for some reason. That just seems like theft. Mister, what were you doing in my fireplace? There was a phasmid in it. I was trying to catch it. Oh, okay. She nods seriously. Do you know anyone named Ruby? Suddenly the girl gets all serious and leans in as if she's about to tell you a secret. My mom tells me that I'm a big girl, but she doesn't know that I can't say ugh. Or like sometimes I can, but then kids. Kind of shakes his head. Where are your parents? My mom's outside and I don't really know about my dad. She gives you a bright smile like it's a good thing. What's this? Show her the stuffed bird you took from the ceiling. It's a grouse, she helps, smiling broadly. You might be able to get on Gart's good side if you make up for the skua you broke. Yes, but what's it for? I don't know. Can I have it? I know someone who really likes stuffed birds. Sure, I mean, you already took it. I don't like it anyway. It looks angry. What's that thing you're holding? It's Lambie. He's my friend. Sort of. Like, she holds the fuzzy beast up to demonstrate. Lambie is a stuffed lamb that, admittedly, has seen better days. One of the eye buttons is missing, and the fur is tatted in several places. Lambie looks like he's fallen apart. Yes, Lambie has lived a long life. She waves the lamb around in the air. Lambie was a she stumbles on her words. Revolutionary, revisionist, rebel. Revolutionary? Yes, she helps happily. Lambie was a revolutionary. Goodbye. Let's get the fuck out of here. But we got that bird. The scruffy-haired little boy kicks a stone. He can't be more than 5 years old. The other one looks indistinguishable from him. He watches his brother kick the stone with his tongue lolling out of his mouth. Kids, have you seen any bad people around? One of the twins looks up, his mouth slightly open. What bad people? He asks. I don't think questioning 4-year-olds without their parents present is going to crack the case, says the lieutenant. Is little Lily her sister? Yes. 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 Okay. Yes. Yeah, why am I talking to fucking 4-year-olds? The woman next to a bucket of clothes hums an odd melody. Her eyes are closed. You're not sure about the melody, but it might be South Sumerian, possibly Sigayan, also known as the apricot suzerainty.
Welcome to the fishing village. Please lean in closer. I have cataracts.
Lean forward.
Oh, welcome, police officer. We don't cause any trouble around here, and we don't want any trouble either.
How could you tell him a cop, goddammit?
We are not here to cause any trouble, madame.
What he said, we're cops. We don't cause trouble, we take care of trouble.
Oh, of course. Last time we saw you around here was 12 years ago. You also came to take care of trouble then. Which you did. But still, in Martinez, you're considered an ill omen.
I've been here before?
No, not you personally. I meant the RCM. Some of the men got into a fight. One of them killed another. Locked himself in that woodshed over there.
She points to the building behind her.
He was brooding, needed some help opening the door. You got it open for him and took him to think about what he'd done in a more secluded place. Somewhere more quiet.
She says it as if he was on some kind of spiritual retreat. What kind of an ill omen are we talking about?
Oh, the usual. Dark tidings. Black hound.
That's you, alright. Black hound licking your own heels. If I'm considered an ill omen, why hasn't anyone told me that?
Maybe we are afraid.
Why?
Because you're an ill omen, but you're still welcome here, as long as men with guns aren't chasing you. And maybe even then, because that's the kind of fishing village we've built. I'm sorry there's not a lot of room to park your motor carriage, and not a lot of houses, or a lot of people. My kids are long gone, searching for treasure. So are others. Ah, look at me ramble on. What brings you to us?
Have you seen a red-haired woman named Ruby around the coast? Nay, I haven't seen anyone lately. Okay, but do you know who I'm talking about? This is my little cinderblock town. She nods with a wrinkled smile. I know what goes on around here. She's being evasive. She knows something. There was a murder in Martinez. He points east. She might be a suspect. We would appreciate your help. Would you now? She turns to him. I know how this world works, and it doesn't work when people tell on each other. This is like when that man locked himself in the woodshed. We just need to help her come out. No, it's not like that, man. With him, we called you. Right now, you just arrived by yourself, like a raven plucking at the window glass. I see. You know something, but you've decided not to tell us. There's not much to tell. People come and go. And was there something else? I see, ma'am. Lieutenant turns to you. I hope you don't mind if we look around anyway. Ruby was here. You know it. Ask her about lodgings. Where could someone stay around here? Stay? Most people here are trying to leave. That said, if lodging is what you're looking for, I've got a free room in the shack. Her soapy thumb points to the building behind her. How much is it? I won't charge you for it. Take it as a gesture of goodwill from the village to the RCM. You're just giving it to me? No one is using it, and God knows it's not much anyway. She tilts her head on the side, pondering over something. You can stay there. There's this guy, Gart, who makes me give him money every night just so I don't die out in the cold. That's exactly how they get you. That's why we built our own cinder block houses on the seaside. So you don't have to give money to those crooks. She looks around. They might not look like much, but they're ours. Why isn't anyone using the room? My kids grew up and left, like they do. The house is long empty now. I live in the small side attachment. It's easier and cheaper to keep warm. You got yourself a tenant. Don't make an old woman regret opening her house to the police. A key appears from under her apron. She hands it to you. Well, if you're not in the hostel in the morning, know where to find you. He looks around and adds, here, in a shack. He's a little relieved you're no longer in that room. Should he? This environment encourages one thing and one thing only. Drinking. What's in this fishing village? Just us. She sounds tired. It's barely a village anymore. We almost don't exist. What do you mean? This is pretty much a non-place, she grins. A gap. A blank spot on the map. Just a cluster of nameless shacks on a nameless street. This place is so pornographically poor it's not even funny. There's gotta be something here. Tell me. She waves her hand southwest. Over there you can find more of the same. Shacks and trees growing wild. That's the Pox. Between here and Jamrock, a dusty sea of old trees, all covered in industrial soot. Small houses under them. An overgrown park. A Pox? What's that? An old military hospital and surroundings. She looks toward the buildings to the south. Or it used to be, during the time of the suzerain. After the war, it was turned into a goodwill hospital for shell-shocked veterans and folks looking for some quiet in the old sanatorium gardens. Now the area is crisscrossed with nameless streets and makeshift cinder-block houses, shacks as far as the eye can see. What happened to the hospital? The goodwill ran out. She tightens the scarf around her neck. The staff left and the place was shut down. It's long gone by now. Who else lives in this village? Well, there's Lillian and her kids. A few new folks live in the house to the east. She nods her head across the courtyard, but they're away right now. And then there's the drunks. She sighs. Not a pretty sight, but there's little we can do about it. Home is home, even for them. Ooh, what drunks? Sooner or later, you'll see for yourself. She slowly shakes her head. Don't have to look long to find these guys. Is there a way to make a little money around here? Here? For you? She lets out a dry chortle. No, officer. The only money we have here is some coins the drunks tried hiding from their women, and then forgot about. Alright, there's another topic I'd like to address. What's further down the coast? Not much, she replies and wipes her forehead. There's the abandoned church, the DeLorean Church of Humanity. It's been there since before my time, even. Why is it abandoned? Some things just don't fly, officer. She smiles a gap-toothed smile and smells the air. Look around. Who'd go to church here? They built it 300 years ago. Must have been nicer then. So they don't hold services there anymore. The Ecclesiastes. No, they've tried, but things just keep happening. Crime, accidents, other things. The place never stays open. She frowns. It's a pity. It used to be such a nice church. She's not telling you all she knows. Keep her talking. Get the feeling you're leaving stuff out. What else is going on? Well, there's that music. Music from across the sea. She scoffs. It started a few days ago, and now it's blasting, even through the nights. And now suspicious-looking people are sneaking around the church. I don't like that. Those would be the dance music enthusiasts in their tent. What else is down the coast? Before you get to the church, there's some ruins. An apartment complex or some kind of electrical plant. Run-down bunch of houses. Empty. Which is it then? Apartments or electrical plant? I don't know exactly. A pre-war place. It used to be something. She shrugs. Before the war. I wasn't here then, you know. I was born in Samara. Anything else of note? Of note? The old fish market up on the boardwalk. But it's closed. Who'd want to come to a fish market here? No one. That's why it's closed. After a long pause, she adds, it was once a bustling place. Back when I was young, and so was everyone else. Now, what catch we do bring in goes straight into a lorry for the Delta or somewhere else. That's it? There's got to be more along the coast. What, you're one of those real estate people with big plans? If you want a development opportunity, you can check out the abandoned building over at Land's End. Used to be a supply depot, we think. Sending goods and ammo across the bay. It's jammed shut, though. We try to get in, see if there's anything to sell or scavenge, but it's impossible. She drops a bar of soap into the bucket with a splash. And now you know everything there is to know about this coast. Okay. The door has seen better days. The layer of paint has started to peel off due to the salt and wind from the sea. Even the lock looks slightly rusted. I'll wait outside to give you some time and privacy to check out your new living arrangement and look for any signs of Ruby. But just so you know, after we're done with the day, I'll be still staying in the Whirling in Rags for the night. We'll meet in front of the shack in the morning. The key turns with a satisfying click. You can enter the shack now. Hell yeah, I'm gonna enter my shack. Look at this sweet shack. See the waves of the sea, a church. Old science fiction magazines, books about bird watching, an almanac from '39. This intricate heat engine hums quietly, giving out pleasant warmth. As you look, the floorboards in this corner of the shack, it's clear one of them isn't quite level with the others. The edge of a floorboard next to it looks scratched. Move the board aside. The hollow space underneath the floorboards is dark and damp. You can barely make out the mixture of sand and sawdust below. What's in here? Nothing particular catches your eye. Looks like more reeds. There might be something hidden inside the sand, though. Something bad. Someone's night thoughts. A last resort. A bad idea. Search through the sand and sawdust. You stick your hand and start combing through the sand. Dry, not like outside. Fine dust. And then, something hard wrapped in paper. What is it? Small cylindrical object. You pull it out. A bullet. A 9mm bullet, to be exact. Fit for all muzzle loaders of that caliber. A bullet, interesting. The floorboard doesn't care, but maybe the washerwoman does. You have enough to confront her with. Holding the bullet, you get the feeling this isn't ammunition against you. It's for herself. Whoa. Whoa. Well, we'll leave it off here. We'll leave it off here. Inside our nice little shack. Seems pretty cozy. And it's not like a dirt floor. It's got some nice wood floor. It seems quiet enough in here. You could live here. You could live here. Good place to read some books, I think. My name is Mangg. Gaming watching has been Disco Elysium. And I'll see you fine folks in the next part.